All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Gooner Eagle Eye coming to you again with a brand new video. This time I'm coming to you live with an episode of Eagle Eye where I talk about transfer rumors. And I'll be honest with you, I had this episode ready to go and put online like I normally do, and it was edited. And I want to talk about this story because this story got me a lot of criticism in my last video, and that is Lucas Torreira. Before I go into that, make sure you do give this video a like. You guys have been crushing that like button like crazy, getting the video a lot of traffic, a lot of attention, and that's why we keep banging on about that like button. You know, anything that you can do to help this video get attention is good for us. So that's why I know it's annoying when YouTube is always talking about hit that like button, guys. But please make sure as you come into the chat, you crush that like button for me. It really does help. But anyway, now I've got the nice stuff out of the way. Let me not get the not so nice stuff out of the way. So I ain't gonna lie to you. I had to mute a couple of people because I ain't got time. I'm too old. I'm too old for bullshit. I'm too old for bullshit. I'm too old where people want to come in, and I've started to get two things lately which are really pissing me off, right? One, pronunciation police, people who think that they're more educated or cleverer than me because they can say a name that I can't. Congratulations. You can say one name more better than I can. It does not mean you're cleverer. It does not mean you're more intelligent. This is not fucking school, people. I will freely admit to you that when it comes to names, I am likely to butcher them. That does not mean that I need you to help me with every single name I attempt to say or butcher. I acknowledge the fact that I will butcher a name. Apologies to you if it offends you so badly that I'm failing to pronounce a name of someone you are unaware of or know. Okay? I'm gonna butcher names, it's what I do. Please don't get rude about it though. I had to mute one motherfucker in particular because he was talking about, oh, you can't say tyranny properly. And I was like, I didn't realize I was saying it that badly. But even if I was, so? Are you a family member of his? Like, do you know him that badly? Pisses me off. People that think that they are better than someone else. I hate that attitude. So I just wanted to address that really straight off the bat. The other thing that I've started to notice is that people are talking to me like, oh, why are you coming on talking about things that aren't true, getting the fans worked up? This is a transfer rumor show. This particular segment, I say it in every single description. It is a transfer rumor show. That means I'm going to talk about stories that, guess what, are transfer rumors. It's not a particularly unique show in the sense that lots of other people do it. Why am I the one that gets bullshit because I'm doing a transfer rumor show? It's unbelievable. Because I happen to talk about, and this is where I'm going to come full circle here, Lucas Torreira, who a couple of days ago, there were a lot of stories that came out that Lucas Torreira had asked to leave Arsenal Football Club. There were a lot of stories, people were running with that. Then subsequently, over the next 24 hours, there were a lot more stories that came from that. These stories originated from Italy. Obviously, they had something to gain by running said stories. So I know what I've gone with as the title, and I will come to that, believe me. But the Lucas Torreira thing, I think it's only fair that I talk about this first, given my last story, the last show that I did on here. So Lucas Torreira in the last hour came out and finally clarified his future. That's all I wanted him to do. Just kill these stories. Kill these stories dead, and then no one will have any problem. But this is what he said ahead of Uruguay's match against Peru. He says, nobody from AC Milan has got in touch with me. Today, I'm in the Premier League, and I'm happy to be part of the Arsenal. It cost me the adaptation. This is a translation, guys. It cost me the adaptation. It's not easy, but I think only about that team. I'm happy to be there. Right? That is a quote from Lucas Torreira. The translation's a bit sketchy, but from what I gathered from that, he's basically happy, he's settled. Clearly, as I originally thought when the story came out, you know, they took one part of the quote and they ran with it and blew it up. But even though I originally thought that, I have to talk about what the hell was that. For the last 4 or 5 days, they've been talking about Lucas Torreira bouncing. And for the first 2 days, go and check my Eagle Light episode. I didn't say shit. In fact, I in one of those shows, I actually said I'm not going to address the Lucas Torreira rumors because, you know, I think it's BS, this, that, and the other. Eventually, it gets so loud, you have to talk about it when you do a transfer rumor. I can't stress the word rumor enough because people are fucking dumb on here, it seems. No, not all of you. Don't get twisted. Just the minority of you. I'm like the 0.01% of you. Because they hear what they want to hear instead of what I'm actually saying. So anyway, my rant is done in that area. I'll come back into the chat room soon. Big up to everyone that is in the chat. I can't actually see how many of you are in there. Please do remember to hit that like button. Maybe stop banging on about it. Just crush it for me. Hit it one time. Take 2 seconds out. Boom. Done. Move on. I got to talk about this story because I read it all day long. Read it on my lunch break. Come back. It's now freaking trending. Number 3 on Twitter. I ain't been on Twitter in a couple of days, so I don't know what has been trending. But I've seen it trending on Twitter, and that was Aubameyang. I was like, what has happened? Then I saw Zaha as top trend. I kind of had a feeling I knew what that story was about. You know, today it's come out that Zaha wants the Arsenal move. He's desperate to move to Arsenal. All sorts of quotes today have come out about Zaha and Arsenal, talking about how he admits he was a boyhood fan of Arsenal, and actually he still is. He still supports the club. You guys, if you don't know my feelings on Zaha, I'll tell you straight up, I'm not the biggest fan of his. For all of those people that shit all over Iwobi, but then they're the same people that love Zaha, I don't understand that mentality. I think he's a slightly more fluid version of Iwobi, truth be told. Iwobi has tricks too. You know, don't get it twisted. He runs like a giraffe. I'll give you that. But he's got tricks too, you know? Yes, he's faster and he's a little bit more fluid. That's it to me. And don't get me wrong, I think he wouldn't do badly in the Arsenal team. I've said it before. If we opt to buy him, sure, I'll get used to it. You know, I think the one strength of his I do like that I don't actually necessarily think Iwobi has. He has to a degree, but I don't think he has it. Is that kind of ability to transition play very quickly from defense to attack. I do think Iwobi is the only person in our team capable of doing that. Mkhitaryan when he feels like playing, but actually Iwobi is the only person that feels like he could do that. I think that's Zaha's main attribute to me. That, you know, if you need to get the ball, if you need an outlet, basically Zaha's your guy. Because Zaha would be the one to get that ball and begin to terrorize defenders. He's done that to Arsenal for the last 2 or 3 years, where, you know, he'll be counter-attacking. Zaha's not the person you want to see on the counter-attack. I get you. Funnily enough, I actually spoke to my mate Kenny, should really give his government name out, Kenzo. I spoke to my mate Kenny today, and he's a United fan. And he was saying actually that he loves Zaha and was actually a little bit gutted when he left United. The reason being is that he saw the attributes that he had. He obviously moved to United very, very young. I think he was like 19, 20 years old. Clearly is a better player than he was. And I've always kind of been lukewarm on the idea, just because I feel like the money you need to spend to get Zaha, why the fuck would we go and get Ziyech? I know you guys hate me keep banging on about Ziyech. It's like it's like my Valentine or something. I keep banging on about it. I get it. But it's just the money it will take to get him. Why don't you go and get Ziyech? Who to me is a more complete player, right? Albeit, yes, isn't proven in the Premier League. That's the only downside you could say about it. Go and get him, right? So I thought to myself, all right, let me try and get used to this idea that maybe, let's say by some miracle, we are able to get the 55 million, 60 million it'll take to prize Zaha out of Palace. Let me get used to this idea. Maybe playing him alongside Uber and Lacazette might be quite a formidable front three. And then I saw a story today. Now, I didn't think it was going to catch fire, but it seems to have on Twitter, it seems to be a hot topic. And that is this notion that Arsenal's grand plan, and I hope it isn't, is to sell Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, our top goal scorer, to get Wilfried Zaha. You want to sell our top scorer to get Wilfried Zaha. I want that to just sink in terms of the stupidity of that idea. And this is coming from me. I'm not adverse necessarily to selling Aubameyang, but not to get freaking Wilfried Zaha. What kind of bone must you be smoking to think that that is a good idea? In what realm would that be a good idea? To get Wilfried Zaha? No. No. Please, God, no. Please. No. Under no circumstances can we even begin to contemplate that idea. You know, whatever your grand plan is, don't flip me for that money. I expect you to go and get Pepe, to be honest. Because Palace don't want to let him go for less than 80. Realistically, it'd probably be more closer to 50. To me, I'd rather go and get at least the Pepe one, could sort of make sense, and he bangs goals in. The idea that we would even consider that deal, I'm sure the story is BS. I'm sure it is BS. But once again, this is what I talked about earlier. It's not about talking about stories to work up the fans. It's just telling you what is out there in terms of the stories that are out there. And this is part of one of the rumors that are out there. Another rumor that's out there, by the way, people, and I'm just saying that this is a rumor that's out there. Supposedly Juventus won Hector Bellerin for 60 million euros. And Arsenal are seriously considering it. Which, for me, would have been great up until today when Wan-Bissaka has pretty much all but gone to United. I would have loved Wan-Bissaka to replace Bellerin. Other than that, I don't actually see a player out there ready to replace Hector Bellerin. By the way, I would love Max Aarons, because I know somebody's going to suggest Max Aarons. I would love it. But first of all, it costs a lot of money to get him. I think I can see Norwich asking for something like 15 million plus. Second of all, we already need a right back as it is. Just as someone who can play until Hector can get back into the team. For me, yeah, that story I'm not comfortable with. I'm not comfortable with. Anyway, let's talk about something a little bit more positive in terms of transfer rumor stories. It looks like Arsenal are about to actually announce some signings. One of them could be William Saliba. So the fee for William Saliba is varied all over the place. Some say it's 30 million euros. Some say it's 27 million pounds, which I suppose would probably be about the same. Some say it's 27 million euros. Another paper said it's £22.5 million. Either way, I think we can expect it to be somewhere in the mid to late 20s for William Saliba. The mad thing about this deal is the fact that Arsenal are actually contemplating letting him go on loan. So it's like, so hold on. Let's just play devil's advocate and say half of our budget, right? Yes, leaving the Lee theory to the side, and you know whether you believe the limited transfer budget or not. Let's assume that it's all true, right? That means you're spending half of our budget on a player that ain't even going to play for us next season. That seems nuts to me. I'm hoping that isn't true, but the other part to this puzzle could be that the board may have just said, listen, you'll have X amount for next season anyway. Why don't you just take it from next year's budget? Meanwhile, you still got X to play with. Because funny enough, and I was thinking about this earlier, this was one of the stories I was going to run with that I've already recorded from my tablet, was there's another story regarding Armando Izzo. Now, I know yesterday, a lot of things happened with this. The club came out and Torreira came out and more or less said that they do not want to let Izzo go. Izzo basically came out and he didn't say he wasn't necessarily going to leave, but he was a little bit more like diplomatic about it in the sense that he basically said, you know, he's not bothered if he ends up staying at Torino. So he's not forcing any sort of move. There was a lot of stories that came out today that Arsenal planned to bid for him anyway. And they're talking about in the region of 22.5 billion euros, which is about £20 million. For me, I just want to see improvement to that defense. And I ain't talking about next year. I'm talking about this summer. I want some improvements to that defense. I've said it all summer. I believe that we need at least 2 centre-backs. I didn't think that one of those centre-backs was going to end up playing next season. I do say this, though. For me, Saliba's always been earmarked as the Koscielny replacement. If we have agreed to loan Saliba back to St. Etienne, what it does say about our defence is actually Koscielny will more than likely end up staying throughout his last year of his contract and then go, with Saliba then set to come in. Mustafi, I've got this horrible feeling he's still going to be here next summer. I'd like to see something different. Either way, this summer, defensively, even if we don't buy any wingers, improve that friggin' defense. Improve that defense. I don't care if the entire budget goes in that defense. Do something with that defense. That's all I want. Right. So, I feel like I've been in a ranty mood, guys. So apologies. I'll come back and chat with you. You guys tend to make me a bit calmer. Well, I'm saying that there's probably some fucking troll in there. Man, my luck. Is there any other story worth talking about? And is there any other story worth talking about? Oh yeah, let's talk about this last story here. This story I found quite interesting. It's not a player we've been linked with so far. The one thing I will say is that although it's been a quiet transfer window, a lot of people forget there are tournaments going on, you know. Not only Copa America, but also the ACON, baby, the African Cup of Nations. Nigeria started well, beat a team that they should have beat, but Nigeria tends to struggle against teams that they should have beat. So I was happy. Meanwhile, there are other African teams, but believe it or not, in African Cup of Nations. One of them is Senegal. And Arsenal are actually interested in Monaco winner Keita Baldi, however you want to pronounce it. I'm sure the pronunciation police is about. But yeah, according to the reports in France, Emery is set to make significant changes to his squad. Yeah, we've been promised that for weeks on end. So this, because people like to know their source, this is from LE10 Sports, and they claim that we are interested in the Senegal international. He's made 33 appearances, but was sent out on loan at the start of last season. Oh, so he went to Inter Milan. Okay. Doesn't say what his goal scoring record. Oh, no, it does. He scored 5 goals in 29 appearances. Yeah. And apparently there is a 30 million price tag on him. Not about 30 million for someone who has 5 goals in 20. What about Zaha? Sorry. Guys, I have to let out one of those Zaha outbursts every now and again. I don't understand. Zaha cost the exact same dough and his goal scoring record is better. And there's an Arsenal fan who has already come out on record and says he'd be open to a move to us. What the hell are we waiting for? I'm hoping that these stories are a distraction, are set to distract people from the real negotiations going on with Zaha. Because I ain't happy. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't happy. What's up? So yeah, apparently that's a story that's going along. For me, this has got to be a bullshit story. I will say this for Arsenal, though. Much as I keep banging on about Zaha, if Arsenal are going to buy a winger, it'll probably be someone like this. Someone completely off the radar that no one has picked up on, that no one has linked Arsenal with before. Because that's just what Arsenal do. Arsenal like to throw motherfuckers off before they actually reveal their hand. But yeah, I am worried because we're not being linked to the right sort of players. We're being linked to the likes of Zaha, you know? Heck, I'd even take Fraser over Zaha, I'll be honest. I would. Yes, I think Zaha is more skillful. That's it. I actually think that Fraser has better numbers, will put up better numbers, and would actually be a better impact on our team. But anyway, I digress. Let's go into the chat room and see what you guys are saying. And rest my big mouth for a second. Numbers and would actually be a better. Excuse me. Sorry. Thank you to everyone who is currently watching. Please do continue to crush the like button. I see you, VP. Thank you for the donation. Oh, there's a couple of donations here. Hold on. Thank you to Rabadan. Thank you for your donation. Saliba is probably the man for the future, but the price Arsenal will end up paying is nuts, considering he has 20 matches for Saint Etienne. Exactly. Don't get me wrong, Rabadan, and thank you for your donation, mate. I really do appreciate it. I agree with you. I think it'll probably end up being a really good investment. It's just, it's a lot of money for someone who's not even going to play next season. It just seems mad to me. And thank you for your donation, BP, as always, my best supporter. Right, let's talk. Let's go through the comments here. Chig, I'm a Zaha fan, but this is dumb. You see what I'm saying? Even Capone's saying it. And that's a Zaha fan. Wondering where the Zaha fans actually are. Now, it seems like they still are out there. McDowell's Human Resources Department. I love that user handle, especially as someone who actually is in the Human Resources Department. I love that handle. Talk about arse backwards. Exactly. The most arse backwards way of thinking. It really is. Wagwan, big man. Wagwan, Mikey. What you saying, brother? Uber to go to Palace anyway. Turn the offer down. The fact that we would even contemplate doing it. Oh, you're talking about a swap, bro. I didn't even think about the swap. Oh, no chance. To be honest, I've been saying this from day one. Do you know what we really should be doing if we're about this life? Go take Iwobi to Palace. Take Iwobi and swap Iwobi for Iwobi, who I think would be more appreciated at Palace. Go to Palace and say, listen, realistically, you know, how much more do you want on top of Iwobi, who's a young, bright player with plenty of potential? How much more do you want? 20 million more for Zaha? If you really want Zaha that badly, I wouldn't. But if you really want Zaha that badly, go and take someone like Iwobi. That's a straight replacement for Zaha right there. Saving us some dough. Using one of our assets. I would sell Uber if we buy Delete. Exactly. I would sell. I'm not adverse to selling Uber, but not for flipping Zaha. Even I'm not that crazy. What the fuck are Crystal Palace circling over there? Zaha is nowhere near worth 80 million, in my opinion. But you know what, Wilson? I don't blame them. They don't want to sell Louis Zaha. Why do I keep calling him Louis Zaha? Wilfried Zaha. They don't want to sell him. They don't want to sell him. So, for me, 80 million, they know they're not going to get 80, but if they can get 60 out of it, I think they'll be happy. I know what will be making Lee mad is if he does end up going for 60. Just think that Mahrez went for 60 million. Lee will be straight triggered because he loves Mahrez. He loves Mahrez. He'll be straight triggered. Imagine if Arsenal end up saying, all right, Palace, come. 60 million for Zaha. First of all, they'll take it. They're crazy. And then second of all, Lee will just be triggered. I would love it to happen just for that reason. Capone, Max Aarons is a baller. Chig knows. Dan Skippy, bro. Chig knows defenders. He's a good player. Very good player. But I don't see him leaving Norwich now that Norwich are in the Premier League. At least not this season. Maybe next. Niles Chig. Not as a right back. I want to see Niles be given a chance in the centre, but now that Torreira has clarified that he wants to stay, it's going to have to be Niles. I just don't think it's the ideal situation for him. I really don't. Good evening, Ninzi. Good evening. Just get Anderson. I'd be all right with Anderson, I guess. Our club is a hot mess. Yes, it is. Uber, yes, if we get Ziyech and add another money. Get Salah just to learn him back. Save my head doesn't even know. Okay. Tyranny. We need a motherfucking revolution. Yes, we do. Arsenal going full retard on that Saliba deal instead of learning him back just to give him Mustafi in return. Learn Mavropanos to them. Well, it's a bit politically incorrect. But I used to have an ex who used to hate me saying the R word, so I now never say it. But Erwin, blank, I agree with the rest of that. And Arsenal fans are going a bit overboard with the whole Saliba deal. Instead of loaning them back, I don't also understand why we've not. It's not like we don't have defenders to give Saint Etienne. That's the thing that seems nuts to me. It's like, well, Saint Etienne needed a defender that badly. Why not include one of them in the deal and say, listen, all right, we'll give you what you're asking for Saliba, but none of this loan back to. We've got a defender that, quite honestly, we need to loan anyway. So it's a win-win deal. We need to see what Mavropanos actually can do, and you guys need a defender. Why don't we work something out? I don't know why that wasn't even a consideration. Heck, at this point, just throw Mavropanos in the deal, whether it's a buy or a loan. quite honestly. And mind you, I'm one of the few that still think the kid has something. But you got to make it work where you can make it work. That DM for Benin looks really good, you know, Che. I'm on about that. I know who you're talking about, Capone. I've forgotten his name. But I know who you're talking about. I did watch bits of that game. Bits. And yeah, he's quite good. He's not bad. Africans tend to be quite good DMs, though. They are. There are some good African DMs. With VAR, Zaha would win us so many pens. Yeah, but he does go down easy. He does go down easy. I wouldn't want us to be cast as divers as well. But ultimately, if it gets us a penalty, it gets us a penalty, I guess. Listen to me. Pass this message to Arsenal. Kroenke is the slimy American rat, and we are the Arsenal, not the Arsenals. I won't comment because I have American friends. Cheer, calm down before you have a heart attack, man. God forbid. Zaha for Uber, big joke. I know, right, David? Flipping it. Zaha is 4 years younger. Are you fucking kidding me? Of course we should swap him. We ain't got no position to have two top dog strikers. Really? Do you know what? I'd be very interested to see Lee, because Lee has similar thoughts about Uber. I'm also one that is not adverse to getting rid of Uber, but not for Zaha. I'm sorry, not for Zaha. Plus, use Mustafi, Jacobson, and the freaking overrated Ozil. Nobody. See, here's the thing. You know when Vinay made those cute comments about, oh, well, when the player goes into their last 2 years, something I've been saying for the last 5, by the way. And when a player gets into the last 2 years of the contract, we'll sell him. He clearly underestimated how much no one wants Mickey, Ozil, or Mustafi. Because he can't sell any of them. Louis Zaha, you know. Do you think this? I know, right? I've got Louis Zaha in my head. Zaha. It's Zaha. Do you give United a percentage of the fee? Do you know what, Chelsea? I think that's an excellent point, but they did buy him. I don't know. See, I feel like Palace would have negotiated, because remember, Palace sold them to United in the first place. So if anything, the percentage would have gone to no, Chelsea, I don't think so. Because I think Palace would have been like, what, for a player that we sold you in the first place? No. So yeah, I think it's an interesting point, but I don't think so. I made that schoolboy error. Stuff Zaha, get Hakim Ziyech. Winston, my favorite comment of the evening. Couple of times. A couple of times still, I'm not gonna lie. Iwobi a Zaha wannabe, to be honest, especially with that hairstyle. I ain't gonna lie to you, Lindsay. I hate that hairstyle of Iwobi's. You should go back to the fade. He was so much better with the fade. He was so much better with the fade. Zaha worth a cool 30 million, not 1p more. 10 rules. I think that's yeah, I think that's probably about right. You were 30 million is a little bit high. I'd be a little bit like, we only got 40 flipping million in the bank. So I'm not a Zaha fan, guys. What can you say? I'm sure there are some Zaha fans in here that are about to tell me what I don't know about football, but I'm not a Zaha guy. I'm just not. Swap Ozil for a CM. Yeah, but who's taking them wages, bro? This is the problem. Arsenal are going to have to think of something. they're going to have to say to a club, listen, pay Ozil 200,000 a week. We've got the 150,000 extra. Just pay him 200,000 a week just to get him off the books, or at least partially off the books. Al Nane for Zaha. Remember, guys, don't forget, crush that like button, man. Hit that like button for me. It helps the show always get noticed, and it stops me from banging on. I'm going to do this for another 10 more minutes before I give you guys a break and before Lee comes back on with another stream of his. Make sure you tune into that as well. At Lee Gunner, his YouTube channel. Swap Ozil for Zio. Ozil to Palace. If only. Give him El Nene. Zaha all day long against Zaha. Exactly, Lindsay. Rumour has it that we're signing Benzema. Oh, please, God, no. Please, God, no. What up, bruv? Have you heard any news on Man City being banned from the UCL and also taking their place? No, I didn't. I would not like Arsenal to take that, but not like that. Not like that. Plus, Man City got too much money. They'll pay the right person, and they'll kill whatever investigation is happening right now. Yes, we're giving Mustafi. It would be a fair deal for them. I think Mustafi would do okay with someone like Scott Dan next to him, telling him what to do. If you're talking about going to Palace, simple thing, Chick. Owen, yes. Yes, Owen. Ramadan, thank you again for your donation, Ramadan. Uber is a world-class striker. You should keep him. I'm not against the idea of keeping Uber. I'm not against the idea of selling, to be honest, but not for Zaha. No. Honestly, I actually like David Obbs' idea, which shout out to David Obbs. Give him Mickey some cash. If you're really that adamant you want Zaha, and I keep saying that, it's like if you really believe Zaha is that guy, do it that way. Thank you, Colin. Appreciate it. Thank you, brother. Got a donation. Remember, guys, the super chat is open. I never like to bang on about it, but it is open, just in case you decide you want to drop a little donation to the show. All proceeds do go to equipment and better software for the show. So thank you, Colin. Appreciate it. We need to sell more players, Simples. I just joined now. Majid, you're late, brother. You're late. Buy Ozil's contract and then sell them. Napoli. Sign Manolos. Funny enough, I'm not against. Oh, sorry. Oh, Napoli have just signed Manolos. Oh, will that be Koulibaly's replacement? There you go. I thought it was interesting, actually, because Ancelotti, I did see a story that Ancelotti said he wouldn't return to the club if they sold Koulibaly. Now they've just signed Manolos. Let's see what happens from here. I think Arsenal have a few moves up their sleeve. Chig, if you had a chance, would you rather sell Zaha or would you rather Zaha or Ozil? Zaha all day. JJ Clark, if you said to me, that question is an interesting question for Lee rather than myself, because I know he doesn't rate either. I also don't rate either, but I'd have Zaha because on every now and again, Zaha turns up. He turns up more than Ozil does. When Ozil turns up, it's a surprise. It's more of a surprise than anything else. When Zaha turns up, it's not because it's a surprise. He's just inconsistent. That's all. With Ozil, it's more than inconsistency. It's just the wrong attitude he has. So for that reason, it's Zaha. Tierney first signing, probably. I think it's... Do you know what? Funny enough, first, I usually think it's either Tierney. I think Tierney and Saliba are done, personally. I personally believe one, if not both of them, are done. I think it's more likely Saliba's done, because it's funny, today the papers didn't know what story to come out with. Initially, they came out with a story yesterday that Tottenham were trying to do an 11th hour steal on Saliba. But we know that Saliba has said he wants to come to Arsenal literally from the moment that he agreed terms. So why would that story all of a sudden come out? It's funny season, guys, and I said it before and I'll say it again. I said this 3 weeks ago. There weren't going to be a signing before the 1st of July. The 1st of July is next week. Let's see what happens, really and truthfully, next week. You're going to see a lot of YouTubers going on overdrive with these transfer stories, because that's when things are expected to pick up. And obviously, I know about the protests and all those things happening. You'll see things start to pick up from next week onwards. But yeah, in answer to your question, JJ Clark, Zaha all day as first. I agree with you. But I actually think one of either Saliba or Tierney is done already. Let me send 20. Tell me nothing. Look at this guy, right? So this is the sort of guy that, as Lee would say, let me block this dickhead, right? This Mr. Mike. I literally spent the first 10 minutes telling you people that I am reporting on things that are out there. And he's felt the need to say, yeah, let me send you £20 for you to tell me nothing. LOL, speculation, speculation, speculation. I'll tell you what, brother. How about I hide you from this channel and then you never have to see me again? How about that? Brick. Amraj, what do you think of the planned kit protest? For me, I'm one of the biggest Stan Kroenke outs. You may notice that when me and Lee do a show together, we can't talk about Stan Kroenke. Or if he talks about Stan Kroenke, I won't say anything because we'll just get into a row. I can't stand him. But this is the first time that me and Lee are aligned on this particular subject. I am of the belief that if by the middle of July, end of July, we still ain't bought anyone, I'm there for any protest you want me to be at. But now, I just think it's too early. You ain't really, shit is starting to pop off now. It's not like it's been happening all summer. Like, you've only just seen that United have just agreed to buy Wan-Bissaka and Tottenham have just agreed to buy Ndombele, which he's going to be a good player for them. I hate to admit it, he really is, right? If from next week onwards we aren't buying people, I'm with you. But the first is you're not really achieving nothing. But power to you. If you listen, if the end goal ends up putting pressure on this stupid man to actually spend money, cool. Then it's a well-justified cause. But I'm not going to be at the protest because me personally, I think it's too early. Too early to be doing something like that. Let's see how these next few weeks play out first. Arsenal bid rejected. Tierney. All right, Adam. I'll just be talking about the pronunciation police. Tierney, right. Yeah, satisfied? All right, first of July is my birthday. They better announce signing it by then. Well, happy birthday for the 1st of July, Majid. One of the people that have been listening to me very, very early. I still remember one of the very first old jokes Majid made was calling me a B-Tech Robbie. He didn't start off well. But he's been a loyal listener since. And this is how you turn a troll into a fan. Happy birthday. Hope you have a good day, man. How old are you going to be? Big up to J Rob. I just saw your donation. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. You checked out Arsenal Realist yet, Shay? I have, because people kept telling me to check out the Arsenal Realist. Listen, for me, I don't know any of the AFTV guys other than Turkish and league judges and obviously League Gunner. So for me, I'm not going to give him a lot of airtime because those guys are mates of mine. What he says about, and Troops is obviously my guy as well. What he says about the others is what he says about the others. It's his opinion, I guess. The only thing I do agree with him on is the Stan Kroenke thing, in the sense that, in as far as we both want him out, he has his style. I think he should be brave enough to take that thing off his head, but maybe that's just, it works for him. It clearly works for him because people are giving him attention. Power to him. I don't hate on him. I suppose why would I? He's never mentioned me. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I've checked him out. It is what it is. Where's Boots? I've not seen Boots in ages. Nope, not Uber. Uber in simple. J-Rob is not a fan of selling Uber in any fashion whatsoever. Are you 25, Majid? I thought you were young. I knew you were young. Well, happy birthday, man. Yo, Chig, are you bothered that Spurs have got Ndobele? Very bothered, Bubbles. You know this? You know this already. I rate that guy highly. You know I like my DMs. And for me, that was the one we should have got when we didn't get Kante. But I digress. Very good player. What do you think of Jordi Isui Tattoo? Let's see what he's got. He's gone on loan. I do think it was a bit of a mistake letting him go, given that we don't have anyone to play right back, and he was an actual right back. That if you listen to what a lot of the youngsters who play with him, a lot of them are surprised he's not in the Arsenal team. Right? Supposedly he's that good. At least we get a chance to see it if you're a Bundesliga watcher when he goes out on loan. Let's see what the kid has. I'm sure there'll be people watching him to see what he can do. And good luck to him. Good luck to him. He's clearly had enough playing in the under-23s. He believes in himself. He backs himself so much so that he's prepared to go to another country to prove it. So be it. So power to him. The Duff. Arsenal are a joke coming from an Arsenal fan. Where is all the TV? Brother, Duff. This is why me and Lee can't talk, because I am with you. I am with you. So don't get me started, bro. Don't get me started. 5 more minutes, because I know Lee's going to start soon. So 5 more minutes. When Lee does start, make sure you head over to that channel. Be 9 o'clock. It'll be Lee Gunner. Have him on the second window while listening to my ass going on. I forgot. Oh, sorry, I didn't even realize he was going at Claude. Of course, Claude is a friend of the show. So yes, I didn't even realize he was going at Claude. But yeah, I won't be necessarily watching him because he is, as you pointed out, he's going at a lot of people I know and I'm friends with. It's his opinion. So he's clearly got some of your attention. So yeah, it is what it is. Austin Reedus is a funny character. Blimey, he's getting some attention. I'll give him that. He's a character. Lee's off camera moment made him. You know what, Mike? And when I say Mike, I mean MIC. I've seen your comment. There's so many things I wish to say to that to defend Lee, but I'm not going to because I know he wouldn't want me to. But let's just say there's so many things I want to say to that I won't. I'll leave it there. Do you think he's right for going for the head, aka Kroenke? What do you mean, Adam? I don't understand that question. Don't forget Kenny Ken. He's gone at Kenny Ken as well. I can't watch this guy stand again. I've only watched it once, mind you, and that's only because you guys kept bringing it up. Fucking hell. How many people has he gone at? It's their second donation. Nigeria favourites for the AFCON. Oh, we fuck. Oh, we fuck. I think, who are favourites for the AFCON? Probably Egypt or someone like that. Because of Salah and that. It ain't us. Let's put it that way. It ain't us. It ain't us. It's either Morocco or it's one of them. Morocco, Egypt, someone like that. It ain't us. Yeah, I do, but I'm talking about people that he's gone after. PP. So no, I'm not just naming Arsenal Fan TV guys. Nancy, come on. But you've been nice to me, so I don't want to block you. But that's my boy, man. I can't have you talk that shit. So I'm not blocking you because you've been cool with me. But I can't. It's my boy. I can't have you talk his shit. Come on now. He's attacking all of AFTV. All right. Well, it is what it is. Just joined. Who's going against Hucci? Oh, gee, you missed so much. Gee, you're really late to these things. I was going to stamp out and should be outed. Adam, I think he should be outed, 100%. But I'm also prepared to be patient about this transfer window. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm not a fan of Stan Kroenke at all. I'm not about to change my mind on that necessarily. But I'm also not going to get crazy with the protests just yet. I'm not going to shit on you if you're going to go. By all means, if you feel like you should go, absolutely exercise your demons, go, do your thing. If it helps, I congratulate you because I'm with you in spirit. But if you're asking me if I'm going to go, I can only tell you what's in my thinking and why I'm not necessarily on the bandwagon of going just yet. So yeah, that's my point on it. Turkish is my boy. So, yeah, me and Turkish were talking the other day and I randomly found out he went to my primary school. It was like, sorry, not my primary school, my secondary school. I was like, sorry, you went to my secondary school? He's like, yeah. I was like, you must be like 2 years younger than me. He's like, yeah. I was like, I don't remember you in school. It's the beard. The beard is disguising him. Told him that already. Zaha could go to Spurs for like one time. What's the deal with AFTV becoming sympathizers? I've got my opinion on a couple of them, Duff, and the reasons for that. I'll leave it there, just for the sake of, I don't want to stop unnecessary problems. People have already told me offline, leave that boy alone, man, that GT guy, leave him alone. It's like, all right, I don't want to start problems. But let's just say I have my theories. Stanley Boy wig is too tight. Big up to Ramadan. Sorry, I'm butchering his name. Rabadam. Arsenal have the best fan channels. Sorry. And that's from a Liverpool fan. Thank you. You just like us melting down. Like VP's here. VP's also somehow is my most loyal fan, and he's a Liverpool fan just like you as well. And I think you guys just like looking at us because we're all crazy. But this is what Arsenal turn us into. Crazy people. This is our least favorite time of year. Transfers. Watching everyone else buy stuff. And we are nickel, diming, and scraping. I dream for the day that we spend money. Usually on point with your stream, bro. Running late today. Don't worry, G. I forgive you, brother. No problem. G, Turkish is proper sound. Yeah, he's a good guy, you know. Off camera as well, genuinely. Very, very humble. He has a real North London attitude about him, in the sense that we have this attitude of, we're cool if you're cool. We have no problems if you don't have a problem. But don't take our kindness for weakness. If you have a problem, then we have a problem. And that's how I like to operate. I'm a cool, laid-back guy. Don't worry about the fact I'm a big guy and I've got a bit of a mean mug face. I'm a cool guy. Me and you have, if you don't have a problem, I don't have a problem. I'm a very laid-back character. But with it, people get the kindness twisted. Don't ever mistake my kindness for weakness. My favorite quote. Don't think that because I smile with you, that you can take the piss. This is why I've had to mute so many people, because I'm a laid-back character until you take the piss. Don't take the piss. So that's my attitude. So yes, Turkish is real cool. Trust me on that one. But thank you for your donation, Rabadam. And thank you for your donation, VP. We're still not brought any of them. Yeah, I know. Give it a minute. Give it a minute. We're in June. If it's the 26th of July, then I'm with you. I'm with you. Marco, are Arsenal now in Spurs' shadow? Until they win something. But I will say this, Marco. I'm just going to be real about this. Spurs are the better team. They're not the bigger club, but they're the better team. They are 100% the better team. And that is just me being honest. They got to a Champions League final. They finished higher than us this season, albeit just. They play better football. They're a more appealing club at the moment. They're a club on the up. You know, they are the better team. It pains me to say that, but we're talking facts here. They're not the bigger club because for all of their achievements, they've not actually achieved anything. So until you can show me a trophy, shut up. Until you can show me some modicum of success, shut up. I'm seeing lots of people talking about how, oh, well, they have been successful because they've been in the Champions. It's all right, cool. Been in the Champions, what they won? They finish above us, cool, what have they won? If we're so bad, how have we still won more than them in the last 5 years? That don't make no sense. So, yes, they're the better team. 100% the better team. They're not the bigger club. And that we're certainly not in their shadow. They need to give us something to hide behind. I'd rather sell a striker for Ziyech. Even then, I wouldn't be overly comfortable with that. But yes, Brandon, that would make more sense to me. Mike, I must admit, as the days go on, I'm with you. As the days go on. Spurs are moving strong now. Yeah, they are. All right, guys, I'm doing a lead now. I've gone like 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. At this point, I'm just waiting for Lee's thing to pop up before I come off. But no, 2 more minutes and then I'm out of here. 2 more minutes. Spurs have to win trophies and consistently for 10 years or more. Exactly, Marbles. 100%. Exactly. Or just in your other 2 comments. I'm with you, Marbles. I'm with you. Thank you, VP. I am cool as the fonts. I am cool as the fonts. Spurs are moving strong, though. I'll give him that. Evening, Claude. There you go. Claude's in the house. I hope you're good, brother. I hope you're good, mate. Chig, you're a top guy, unlike some fraudster YouTubers. Thank you, Ninzi. I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. All right, guys. I am out of here. Do please continue hitting that like button. I'm sure Lee is on or about to be on, one of the 2. So make sure you go check out his show. Make sure you also check out Claude's channel. Seen him pop up in the chat room. I've seen some nice content out of him most recently. So do go check him out. Also, I've just seen Ryan pop up. So go and check out Ryan's podcast channel, Mr. Arsenal Podcast. He's doing some good things too. So check that out. Also, Colin is back. So you probably saw much Arsenal pop up in the chat as well. Go back up to where his donation was and check out his channel as well. I think that was pretty much everybody. So yeah, I'm out of here. Hit that subscribe button, people. I'll be back tomorrow. Take care. Deuces.